My fan club, everybody. They drove by from right to left. I was bent over pulling weeds, and they cumulatively said, "Fuck you." I don't even know who they are. But then they drove back again and pointed their fingers up in the air and said, "Fuck you." And then here's the trail car watching what they're doing. I have no idea who those kids were. It might be Scarlett's son. One of them might be Scarlett's son. He's about that age. I don't know who the other one was. It looked like he had kind of reddish hair. Probably somebody I've never met before. So isn't it amazing how parents teach their children to do that to a senior citizen who's working on her property? But that's the way it is here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Look, here's the black windows. Look at that one right there, the agent. Fusion Center operative. Come on down here, show your face. Show your face, loser. So anyway, here they come again. Watch, we're gonna get a better picture of them now. We'll get a better picture for YouTube. One had I have never seen these kids before. I don't know who they are, but they pointed their finger up at me. So that's the third time they passed by, telling me, saying the F word, F you, and sticking their finger up in the air. I don't know who they are. They could belong to Scarlett or somebody else, but I have no idea who they are. They look like they're teenagers. But this is the way parents teach their children around here. To drive by somebody's property 3 times, saying F you, and sticking their middle fingers up. And this is what society has become. This is why society will not exist the way it does. And it's with your tax dollars. You're teaching, these people are teaching young people to disrespect elders. It doesn't matter what they were told. You know, when I grew up, my parents would talk about some people sometimes, but they would never, ever, like, tell my brother and I to do something against that person. We might overhear them speaking about somebody they disliked or whatever, but it was never telling us to direct our personal anger. Again, I'm picking up, this is all the weeds that they plant here. Somebody else's personal agenda or behaviors or hatred or whatever it is on behalf of my parents. And actually, I had really good parents. I mean, maybe they were divorced and stuff, but they stayed friends until my father passed away, actually. My father would actually come over Christmas Eve and spend a dinner sometimes with my mother. And they had been divorced for years and years, but they stayed friends. They just couldn't live together. They weren't good marriage partners. And, you know, they married too young, but nevertheless. They taught us to respect people. They taught us to, if you had nothing nice to say about somebody, to not say it at all. They told us to not discuss religion and politics amongst people because it created a lot of strife. And I am not a religious person, nor am I political at all. So that was an easy teaching for me. But the fact that these young men purposely, I mean, it was obviously a skit show because of the Fusion Center operative, the large, I don't know if that was not an Escalade, it wasn't an Escalade, I don't know what it was, that large SUV, the steel gray SUV with the very black windows, like heavily tinted windows. And I called out to that piece of crap. I mean, I know that's one of the private contractors or a Fusion Center operative. I said, show your face. Yeah, show your face, you coward. But that's what they do. They trail around to see what your response is going to be to these these teenage criminals. All I can say is that if we go to war, those are the kind of people that are going to be drafted. Those are the kinds of guys they're going to draft into our military to serve and protect this country. Do you feel scared? I feel scared. I feel scared just as an American. Forget being a targeted person. You want little pieces of crap like that protecting the country when they go around terrorizing, harassing people that they don't even know? I've never even met those guys, at least to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I could not see who they were. One had brown hair. One appeared to have like reddish hair. I don't really know anybody with red hair around here. But there are a lot of people I don't know. So it's irrelevant. There's so many people I don't know around here. And yeah, it's a small town, but I don't socialize with these people. I don't go to a church where I would see any of them. Not that these people are churchgoers. No way are these people churchgoers. And if they did, they would be total hypocrites. But yes, so you got to witness what I experienced here in Jackson County, Kentucky. And I think I'm just going to post this to TikTok too. We'll get some more views over there. But please remember to hit the thumbs up and share so that you can see the way the young people around here treat senior citizens who they don't know. Their parents or somebody told them to drive by 3 times. 2 young men sticking their middle fingers up at me and telling me, F you, F you, F you. And it's like, I've never met these guys before. But yeah, we'll make them famous. We'll make them popular, just like Scarlett. She likes to throw poopy diapers around here. So we'll make these guys popular too. And their friends will laugh and giggle and stuff. But there might be somebody out there that gets really pissed off if they did that. And I'm hoping that they never did that to Travis Sparks when he lived here. I would feel really bad that somebody did that to a senior guy like him. But yeah, so they're doing it to me here in Jackson County, Kentucky. And yeah, so that's the way we're going to deal with it. The way we deal with it, we document everything. So for those welcome newcomers, there are a lot of newcomers. I've noticed over the last month or so, we have a bunch of newcomers. My name is Lorraine. I live in Jackson County, rural Kentucky. I purchased a big farm here in 2019 after selling my 5-bedroom house at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, a home I lived in for 30 years as the original owner, and I became harassed and stalked when I lived there. And the Manalapan Police Department was intimately involved in my harassment and stalking. Not the entire department, but there were about maybe 5 to 8 of the officers there that were kind of in on it. They were called the hockey club. It was mostly a bunch of guys that belonged to this little hockey club that the former chief of police, Michael Fountain, devised or formed and stuff. And there were other officers that did not want to join this hockey club. And they got ostracized by the former chief of police because he was a narcissist. He's a big, fat baby alcoholic who wanted to control his officers. Like if they didn't want to do something that he did, like he would almost, it was almost like putting